The story kicks off on this pitch-black, terrifying night in a dense forest where a lady is running for her life, trying to escape somebody, and she's pretty banged up. As she's running, she gets close to a house with a red light glowing from it. Before she can even figure out what's up, a dark shadow swoops in and ambushes this lady. It grabs her by the neck and lifts her right off the ground. This shadowy thing whispers the name Andre to her, and hearing that, the lady wakes up in a sheer panic. Even though it was just a nightmare, Alina is freaked out. Alina can't figure out who that creature was in her dream, or why it said the name Andre. All this worrying really starts to get to Alina, so she goes straight to her fiancé, whose name is Andre. These two are genuinely happy together. Andre and Alina are enjoying some beautiful moments, and you can tell they are totally in love. They're planning to get married soon, and they currently live together in Ukraine. Andre whips up breakfast for Alina, then heads off to his job. But that bad dream is still stuck in Alina's head, so she calls her aunt, Yevdokia. Alina tells Yevdokia about the nightmare, saying that death was coming for Andre in the dream. Yevdokia gets really worried and tells her, "It's time for you to send Andre away, somewhere far." She adds, "And you know exactly where and how to send him." After that, we see Alina and Andre together, super happy because it's their anniversary. They have a small celebration and share their feelings with each other, but their joy quickly turns to pure dread because the year is 2022 and Russia has launched an attack on Ukraine. Russian soldiers storm into Ukraine. They start kidnapping activists and officials. The regular people in Ukraine are terrified of the Russian soldiers, so they just hide inside their homes. Andre and Alina decide to flee to save themselves. But at that time, Russian forces were controlling everything in Ukraine. So, Alina tells Andre they should head to Aunt Yevdokia's house. Aunt Yevdokia's place is isolated, built in the middle of a remote forest, far from any city. The house was even around during the World War, and no soldier ever managed to reach it. That's why Alina insists on going there with Andre, and he agrees. They're driving along when some Russian soldiers stop their car on the road. The soldiers start questioning them and search their vehicle. Andre talks to them calmly and nicely, trying to avoid any trouble. However, these Russian soldiers start showing aggressive conduct toward Alina. Andre desperately just wants to get out of there, so he stays quiet and tries to keep his temper down. Even after all the questioning, the soldiers won't let them go. Instead, the soldiers demand Alina from their chief so they can take advantage of her, and the chief agrees. As soon as they get permission, the soldiers rush over to Alina and try to physically restrain her. But seeing all this, Andre loses it and starts shooting at the soldiers. One soldier is killed in the attack, and another soldier's leg gets severely wounded. Somehow they manage to escape and make it to Aunt Yevdokia's house. Once they arrive, Olena quickly pulls her dog out of the car. The dog was also wounded during the gunfire, so she hands the dog over to her aunt for treatment. But then Olena notices blood on her hands, and when she checks on Andre, she sees he's been shot and is badly hurt. Andre's condition is really bad. Olena tries everything to help him, but it's no use. Andre's wound is too deep and takes his life. Olena sobs uncontrollably, watching the love of her life die in her arms. Olena keeps trying hard to save Andre, but his time has run out. Death takes Andre away with her, and the sign Olena kept seeing in her dreams has now come true. Meanwhile, we see those same soldiers acting like nothing happened. They calmly take the necessary supplies from their dead comrades and treat the injured ones, sitting back without a care. Accepting Andre's death is impossible for Olena. She breaks down crying, looking at his body. Seeing Olena so distraught, Aunt Yevdokia approaches her. She tries to comfort her, saying, "Everything will be all right." Olena replies, "I don't want to fix anything. I just want Andre back." Olena continues, "I've lived many lives. I've seen thousands of wars. I've lost many people. But the pain of losing Andre is the biggest." She says, "I felt love for the first time as a normal girl with Andre, but even this happiness was snatched away from me." Olena decides that the people who caused Andre's death won't get to live in peace. She plans to give them a slow, agonizing death. She says, "I'm going to make their lives so difficult that they'll find death easier than life." Saying this, Olena gets ready to leave and asks Aunt Yevdokia to burn Andre's body. She grabs an axe and heads for a secret wall inside the house. Using the axe, she starts to break it down. After breaking the wall, she enters a secret chamber. This chamber holds black magic and powerful supernatural items that are extremely dangerous. Olena stands in front of a magical mirror and takes off all her clothes. We see tattoos on both of Elena's wrists, but in the magical mirror, they look like shackles. Elena cuts these tattoos, the shackles, and breaks them, releasing the supernatural powers she had abandoned for Andrei. Changes start happening to her body, and we see a special kind of power surge through Elena. With this power returned, Elena becomes incredibly powerful and dangerous. She is now completely ready to take revenge on her enemies. Elena wasn't a normal girl. She was a witch who wanted to live away from the witch's world with Andrei. Since that didn't work out, she's back in that world. Meanwhile, we see the Russian soldiers, whose chief tells them that the food supply won't be coming because the truck was stopped by the Ukrainians. So, the chief tells them, "You're all free now. You can get food any way you want. You can even kill people." The soldiers are thrilled to hear this and split up to find food. Some soldiers go into a house looking for food, where an old man tries to chase them away. But these Russian soldiers end up killing the old man and violently breaking into his house. Inside, they see the old man's daughter, whose name is Katya. Seeing Katya, the soldiers try to take her captive. Katya manages to escape and starts running, but it's no use. The soldiers quickly knock her out, and one soldier takes the opportunity to commit a terrible act against Katya. When Katya starts to regain awareness, she screams loudly, but the soldier shows no mercy. Meanwhile, other soldiers start shooting at a house just for fun. When a lady sees this, she tries to reason with the soldiers, telling them, "You're human beings, so act like humans, not animals." The soldiers get furious at this and shoot the lady, ending her life. After this, they go to a camp, and Katya is brought there so all the soldiers can use her for entertainment. But then we see Elena performing a ritual with blood. This ritual is directed at the soldier whose leg Andrei shot. Because of Elena's ritual, the soldier's injury gets much worse. The pain is intense, almost impossible to handle. Then, a clump of hair and a piece of paper pop out of the soldier's mouth. The paper says, "This forest will become the grave of all of you." After reading this and seeing what happened, the soldier is terrified, and his condition gets so bad that he dies right there. The chief also has a dream where he sees Elena covered in blood, threatening to kill all of them. Seeing this, the chief gets scared and tells the soldiers to take Katya far away from the camp. Following the chief's orders, the soldiers dump Katya in a remote spot. Elena shows up right there and asks Katya, "Do you want revenge?" Katya doesn't answer, but the pain in her eyes screams for revenge, and Elena understands. Meanwhile, when one soldier goes to pee, blood starts coming out instead of urine. The soldier is seriously worried. After this, we see two soldiers, one of whom Elena tries to influence. When she approaches to kill him, she sees his family photo and decides not to. Instead, she tempts the other soldier with money. Seeing so much cash on the ground, the soldier gets greedy and starts walking toward her. The next morning, when all the soldiers look at their phones, they get the same message: "Your graves will be in this forest." Reading this freaks out all the soldiers, but the chief doesn't pay it any mind because he doesn't believe in ghosts or black magic at all. The chief just calls it a trick by the enemy and tells all the soldiers to stay alert. But then one soldier leads everyone to a spot in the forest where lots of voodoo dolls are hanging. After that, they spot one of their comrades tied to a tree. His hair has been pulled out, his lips are sewn shut, and his stomach is ripped open. Seeing this horrible state, everyone is shocked. And as one soldier steps forward to save his friend, the tied-up soldier suddenly explodes and dies because Elena had rigged a booby trap right in front of him. Seeing this, all the soldiers get mad at the one who stepped forward and say he shouldn't have moved. Meanwhile, we see Elena performing a powerful ritual. In this ritual, she summons a demon and then absorbs the demon into herself so she can gain its powers. When Yevdokia walks outside her house, she sees it's raining dead birds. Seeing this, Yevdokia rushes to Elena in fear, and when she sees Elena, she realizes Elena has gone too far with her revenge. This whole thing is dangerous for Elena too, so Yevdokia tries to warn her that if she doesn't stop now, she will pay the price. But Elena won't listen and says she doesn't care about the consequences. She'll go to any length for her revenge. She says, "I don't care if I die." Hearing this, Yevdokia says, "I was the one who gave you a new life by making you a witch, and now you want to leave me all alone?" Elena ignores everything Yevdokia says. Meanwhile, we see the soldier who saw his family photo. The photo now shows his wife and son covered in blood because Elena had killed them both and performed a ritual to kill them using the photo. Seeing this, the soldier is terrified and insists on going home to see his family. But the chief won't let him go to the city, so the soldier drives a tank out himself. On the way, Elena plays a mind game with him. and trapped in his own mental confusion, he crushes and kills 2 of his own comrades with the tank. The remaining soldiers beat him up badly for this, even though he tries to explain everything, but they don't listen. Meanwhile, the camp is hit by a bomb attack, scattering everyone. One soldier ends up in the forest, the same soldier who had killed that innocent lady. Here, he starts seeing the lady's bicycle, and then the lady's ghost starts scaring him. The soldier runs to save his life, and suddenly the chief appears in front of him. The chief draws a symbol on his forehead and says, "Your time to die has come." This isn't the chief though, it's Elena, and she kills him. After killing him, Elena viciously removes his heart and goes home. When the remaining soldiers find his dead body, they are shocked because they can't believe the enemy would go this far. One soldier suggests it's supernatural power, but the chief, who doesn't believe in that stuff, silences him with a shout. Meanwhile, when Aunt Yevdokia sees Elena consuming the soldier's heart, she gets scared and tries to reason with Elena again. But Elena hurts her and says, "I need more power." A little later, when Elena comes back to her senses, she apologizes to Yevdokia for hurting her, and then she leaves. Yevdokia is now afraid of Elena too, because in her thirst for revenge, Elena is not only losing her real identity, but is also turning into an evil witch. At night, Elena goes to the soldiers' camp and leaves a warning for everyone. The next morning, when the soldiers don't see the bodies of the dead soldiers in their usual spot, they panic and quickly go looking for them. As they go further, they see the dead bodies hanging from the trees. Seeing all this, one soldier gets so scared that he kills himself because he doesn't want to die by Olena's hand. He figures it's better to end himself than face Olena. Then, they show the soldier who committed the terrible act against Katya. Worms and bugs start crawling out of his private parts, and he writhes in agony. To save himself, he runs to Katya's house, where Katya is about to kill him for revenge. He begs her right there, and she spares him. But then, this soldier picks up his gun and is about to shoot Katya when Katya kills him instead. Meanwhile, Olena appears to all the soldiers, and they all chase her to catch her. 2 soldiers even clash with each other and end up killing each other. The chief and the remaining soldiers start shooting at Elena, wounding her badly. She immediately rushes home to save her life. Yevdokia removes the bullets from Elena's body and says, "You will have to pay for the death of every person, and you will die when you kill the final chief, because that's the deal Olena made." Yevdokia begs her again to stop this game, but Olena refuses. Olena kills all the soldiers one by one, but the chief is too much for her. Instead, the chief catches Olena and tries to commit a serious act of misconduct with her. But then we see Olena standing behind him, meaning the person he was attacking was actually his own soldier. It was all Olena's illusion. Olena starts tormenting the chief and is about to kill him when Aunt Yevdokia shows up. Yevdokia tells Olena, "There's a baby growing inside you, and if any harm comes to this chief, the baby will also die." Because Olena made this deal with the demon and the devil. Yevdokia explains that this baby is the last memory of Andrei, a sign of her love, and the only reason she has left to live. Hearing all this, Olena calms down, but the image of the chief is still in her head, which fuels her anger. However, when Olena looks at her dog, she completely calms down. Both Andrei and Olena had kept the dog with great love. Olena finally says, "Forgiveness is not the solution, because in the end everything will just return." Yevdokia says they don't need to kill the chief. She has another plan. The scene shifts to the chief, whom Yevdokia has completely driven crazy. His own soldiers tell him the blood is from all the soldiers he's killed, and then they take him to prison. After a time jump, we see Olena, who has given birth to a baby. She starts a new life with the baby, and her revenge is complete, and that's where the movie ends. So, how did you like this scary movie? Let us know in the comments. See you in the next video. Bye-bye and take care.